just curious.
Listen, I'm so glad I'm here to witness what we all just witnessed together and experience in the studio today.
No, do you do like fantasy or anything? Do you do fantasy football or anything?
I am just like you. I'm a Maryland girl.
Okay.
So by the time I got to college, I realized that I didn't care about football as much as I thought I did because everyone in Maryland lives and breathes football.
Yeah, well, I'm from Texas, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing,
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. But now I feel like I made it, and my father is going to be proud of me finally. You know what I mean?
You have now peaked in your father's
Yes,
That's
I have.
amazing. Okay, so wait, you were recently at the White House, and
I
that was
was.
an amazing experience for you, right?
Yeah, it was extraordinary.
Yeah, tell everybody what happened.
I was there at the White House for this celebration of Black Excellence brunch, and it was just like a cornucopia of like really extraordinary artists, activists, educators, and it was like one of the most pure events I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like you're like out and about and you're doing stuff and sometimes it feels very like...
Fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fake.
Yeah.
It was like a family reunion.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
It was the best.
Yes.
You know, Biden was there and he gave this really beautiful, earnest, like from his heart, just tribute to the contributions of Black folks in America.
That's really beautiful. You've been to the White House a bit, right?
I have. I've been to the White House one time. I was invited, Gerald Ford invited me to a dinner. They're going, who? Gerald. Abe Lincoln had me there.
Oh, my
So
God.
I went there. Anwar Sadat was being honored, you know, remember?
Yes.
No, anyway. So I was there, and guess who was the host of the dinner? Danny Kaye.
Okay.
Which was a hoot.
Yeah.
And so that's the only time that...
So you had a good time there, too, then?
I had
You
a
good
blast.
time? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Scared to death.
Yeah.
That's way out of my realm, but yeah.
I was, too, but I went to the inaugural ball. I had a good time, too. Yeah, Michelle Obama was what made it fun, because everybody was real stiff.
And then
we were
she
all
was
just
like,
sitting there, and all of a
"This is a
sudden, she
party."
started dancing. I was
Yeah.
like, we're allowed to do it!
Yeah, yeah.
We're allowed! I was like... everybody was kind of like, we're going to be so proper. And then it was like everybody had a good time. Like, so your new series is called 3 Women. So tell everybody, obviously, what it's about, 3 women.
3 Women is about 3 women. It's actually about 4 women, which people are very upset about. People are very...
Oh.
People do not like to be confused,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Okay.
But we have a narrator played by Shailene Woodley, and she serves as the proxy for the writer of the book, Lisa Taddeo. So in the show, her name is Gia, and she is the one who was telling the story of the lives of these 3 women. And as you could see from the clip...
Some naughty stuff is going on.
Some very naughty stuff is going on.
Yeah.
As I like to say, I am back on my BS after She's Gotta Have It. It's been years, but here I am.
So you are also part of the audiobook, right? Wake? Is
Yes.
that yes? How'd you get involved with that?
That came in through my reps, came in very formally, but in the process, Wake is essentially, the audiobook is based on the graphic novel Wake by Dr. Rebecca, and she essentially had this tremendous and like long and thorough research process about Black women who were involved in slave revolts. So like often when we hear about, you know, enslavement in America, it's always like, it feels like very victim, the story is told one way. And there are all these amazing, incredible accounts of women beyond Harriet Tubman, essentially.
Yeah.
Who were like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
You want to hear those stories, too.
You want to hear those stories, too. You know, we always hear, like, oh, we have trauma in our DNA. And I'm like, but we also have all this.
Yeah.
We also, there's a lot of resiliency.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wit. And I'm very feisty and I've always been.
Yeah, I'm spicy, too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that came from somewhere.
Yeah. But what did you learn about these women, though, that you're playing in these? What did you learn about them?
For Wake or 3 Women?
No, for 3 Women.
For 3 Women, you know, my character is such a boss. Like, I feel like everyone's like, oh, DeWanda, you play these fierce women, but like Sloane is on a level to be aspired to in many respects. And so I just feel like she left me with a greater sense of feeling like really emboldened.
Yeah.
You know, and less timid about being like, oh, if I say this, then, and more self-trust to be like, I trust myself, I have tact, I have grace.
Yeah.
If someone takes it the wrong way, they were
Comfortable
intent.
in her skin. Yeah.
Yes.
Are all three women
misunderstanding.
different? Are they all different?
Very different.
Very different.
Betty Gilpin plays a character who is the exact opposite of Sloane.
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
timid, the mouse.
Yeah.
The mouse in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it's also really remarkable to be a part of a show where there's different stories.
Yeah.
And you get to watch the show fresh.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. Like, there was one day on set, and they were like, you know, I have my nice holding area, and they were like, you know where Betty was held last week? I was like, where? And they were like, in a laundromat. And I was like, oh, they got Betty in a laundromat? That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I like my circumstances were like, okay, so let's do another short break, everybody. You can find the audiobook of the novel Wake on all platforms, and be sure to watch 3 Women on Starz.